Hello YouTube, this is Morgan, Airspeed Prime here at my next Boruto manga chapter. This one's going to be for Boruto Chapter 8 and it's called You Must Act. So yeah, getting straight into the review, we are still not done with the movie adaptation. Based on where we ended this one, there's only either one or at most two chapters left. Anything more than that and they are absolutely stretching this completely unnecessarily. The other thing to add to it now is that obviously last week we had the announcement of the Boruto anime coming in was it April, which obviously most people are taking that announcement to mean the anime is going to basically be the new content and then the manga is just going to adapt that. We don't have confirmation of that yet, but at the very least, I think it has definitely made people not feel as feel that the Boruto manga is as important as maybe it was initially going to be. In that, obviously, we're still not at new content yet, and now with the anime starting in April, there's basically no opportunity for the manga to like get ahead of the anime for that to be like how the adaptation works. And with Kishimoto, I think being at least somewhat involved in the anime, it really feels like the anime is the main thing with Boruto going forward. That's what they're focusing everything on, and the manga is just kind of secondary. But obviously, we don't know for sure what exactly way that's going to work. They could very well start off the Boruto anime with adapting Gaiden, adapting Chapter 700. Maybe some kind of more fun, kind of fillery episodes to give you more time with the characters, and then kick off the manga story after the manga's had a couple of months. That's an option. I don't really know what's going on just yet, though. It definitely made me just be like, oh wow, I wonder how this plan exactly worked out. Was this always the plan, that the manga was going to just adapt until basically the anime came out and then stuff was going to happen? But anyway, let's focus on Chapter 8. Basically a fight chapter, like everything was a fight here, very little dialogue, but I think it was good. I think one thing that the artist whose name I just completely forgot, Ikemoto, I think that's it. One thing he does really well actually is I actually like how he does his fight scenes, his action scenes. I think it's pretty clear what's going on. I think he chooses good angles and stuff like that. And especially in this one, I noticed that he does kind of facial expressions really well. Like there's some great kind of facial expressions of Naruto as you see him kind of really exerting himself in the fight. Kind of Boruto's kind of awestruck reactions, and then the other Kage's kind of defeated expressions. There's some really good stuff there with the art. It is just some of the design work that continues to be a little bit of a problem with the manga, but in general I quite like the art. It's definitely improved since the first chapter or two. But yeah, the main thing here is just we get kind of Momoshiki in his final form. He really quickly just defeats all of the other Kage, like, you know, Gaara gets taken out quite quickly and so on, the Raikage and so on. Just they basically all get like one or two shotted just like really quickly. He comes up to them, breaks through their jutsu, and then just kind of knocks them out basically. And it's left for basically just the last two people standing are Naruto and Sasuke, and they have to fight Momoshiki. And I really like how they start off kind of with, it looks like Naruto is about to get the same treatment, that the first attack hits him, he kind of gets blown away. Instantly Momoshiki is on him like he's about to deliver that knockout blow, and then Naruto just kind of turns on the like Kurama mode and just like catches his fist. And then I really like the elbow and then the kick combo that he did to kind of blow him away. That was it was a really cool, like, awesome Naruto moment. And then Sasuke comes in, and they really quickly went through the fight. And it's just basically Momoshiki defeats the other Kage. Instantly Naruto and Sasuke come in. It's a little bit of an even fight, but in general, once they turn on the big jutsu, the fight is kind of pretty much on its way to being over. Naruto kind of unleashes Kurama, Sasuke attaches, the Susanoo to him, so it's Kurama and the Susanoo armor. They quickly blow through Momoshiki's best attacks, and it looks like they have him defeated until obviously the guy from earlier on in the series comes in and is like, oh, I'm going to deliver the final blow of this fight, and comes in, fires all the jutsu from the jutsu canister thing at him, and that's the problem. With Momoshiki, you're not meant to fire kind of more energy-based ninjutsu at him. You're meant to use taijutsu. So they make that mistake. They give him kind of all of these powers. He absorbs them, and instantly he uses a super strong Shikamaru kind of shadow possession thing, and has them all captured. Basically, at his will, he can just finish them off anytime he wants. And we just end with the Boruto section of the story of, like, just before they went into this battle, Sasuke kind of told Boruto, kind of stay back, but if a time comes when some of us begin to fall in battle, you will have to enter the battle yourself and do something. And he decides that he's going to join the battle. He starts to make his Rasengan, and that's where we end, just with the idea that Boruto is going to come into the battle and do something here. So, as far as I remember from the movie, the way this ends up working out is that he fires his Rasengan at Momoshiki. It seems to just kind of fizzle out. But obviously, it's then revealed that the nature that he's added to his own Rasengan makes it kind of this kind of invisible, like, energy blast type thing. So even though it doesn't look like it's doing anything, it still travels forward and hits you. And so it takes Momoshiki by surprise. That kind of snaps everyone out. Naruto and Sasuke kind of power up Boruto, and kind of he's the one to deliver the final blow with the assistance of other characters. I can't really remember if there's a whole other section of the fight before that happens, but more or less that's how the fight comes to an end. And there's some epilogue stuff in the village as we kind of wrap up the kind of more personal stuff between, like, Naruto and Boruto. But in general, that was the chapter. I liked it, but again, like, in terms of analyzing it, like, I liked how the fight kind of was done. It was obviously different with some of the design work to the movie, but I still liked it. As I said, the Naruto's kind of comeback in the fight was really well done. I liked how he drew the big, giant, like, Kurama in the armor kind of section. And as I said, the facial expressions were pretty good for the kind of more, kind of get the emotion of the fight in as well. But in general, like, not a lot of plot stuff really happened here. So it's just kind of like waiting for kind of more to come. So in general, it's one of those chapters where there's not a lot really to talk about. I think the much more interesting thing here is just what obviously the announcements, like, outside of this chapter mean for the manga going forward. So definitely in the comments, let me know what your thoughts were, of course, on the chapter itself, but also let me know what your thoughts were on what that Boruto anime announcement actually means for the manga. Do you think the manga is going to continue to be the source material for the anime, or is the anime going to be the source material for this? A lot of people bring up that Dragon Ball Super, I'm not really familiar with Dragon Ball that much, but that's the way that is done. That Dragon Ball obviously initially was a manga, then it was primarily anime, and then with this new one, the anime is kind of like the main content, and then the manga is just the kind of adaptation of that. And people assume that Boruto is kind of taking up the same thing, where they want to continue with the manga with a kind of new artist, but the main stuff is the animation. I think that's fine. I don't really have a problem with that. It's just, I assume the manga will at the very least show us the first hint as to where the post-movie story is actually heading, and then that will maybe get people more excited to see the Boruto anime, given that the manga has, like, hinted at where it's going. But overall, as for chapter 8, as I said, pretty good action chapter. Not a lot to say really beyond that, because obviously there wasn't a lot of dialogue. There wasn't really a lot of kind of emotional stuff going on. It was just a fight, but the fight was well done. I hope it ends next chapter, just so we can get kind of on board to kind of getting the new content. But I could see them definitely extending it into 2 chapters to get a better epilogue, but we'll have to see what exactly happens. So, as I said in the comments, let me know what your thoughts are on everything I've discussed here. And I'll just end by saying, links to my Twitter and Tumblr are in the description below if you want to follow me on social media. Also in the description is links to my Patreon campaign and PayPal donation link if you want to help support my channel. But that's been the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.